It was a damp and gloomy afternoon after a heavy downpour. The city streets were splattered with puddles, and muddy water clung to the edges of the road. On a worn-out wooden bench, just beside the roadside, sat an elderly man named Baba Rashid. His clothes were faded and his slippers nearly torn apart, yet his face held a quiet calm. He had just finished sweeping in front of a small electronics shop and was taking a short rest before heading home. Suddenly, a loud roar of an engine echoed down the narrow road. A sleek black Land Cruiser came speeding through without slowing, even slightly. The vehicle raced through a wide puddle, sending a huge splash of muddy water flying into the air. In an instant, the old man was drenched from head to toe. His face tightened as he wiped his eyes with shaky fingers. But the damage was done. His shirt clung to his body, his trousers were soaked, and his slippers squished with every movement. A few pedestrians gasped and looked on. "Hey, look what you've done!" A woman shouted after the car, but it didn't stop. It slowed just a little, then rolled forward before finally halting a few steps ahead. The tinted window slid down, revealing a cold, confident voice from inside. "Old man, you shouldn't sit so close to the road," the woman said sharply. "This isn't your village." Without waiting for a response, she rolled the window up, and the SUV drove away with a smooth growl. The bystanders stood still, stunned. Did she just say that? Someone muttered. "What a heartless woman," another added. "She couldn't even apologize." People murmured in disbelief. "Baba Rashid is such a gentle soul. Why would anyone treat him like that?" But the old man raised his hand slightly, signaling them to calm down. His voice was soft but firm. "Let it be. Let God handle it." Meanwhile, the woman in the Land Cruiser, Vanessa, had just arrived at a luxury shopping complex. As she stepped out, her phone buzzed. She quickly took a selfie and posted it online with the caption, "Only this strong walk over the week. Boss Queen." Within minutes, likes and comments flooded in. "Slay Queen." "Put them in their place." She smiled, satisfied. In her world, what she had done meant nothing. She believed that poor people didn't matter. They had no voice, no place in her path. Her pride had been her armor for years, crushing anyone she considered beneath her. That evening, Baba Rashid returned home soaked, tired, but composed. He stepped into the large living room of a beautifully built house, though he always dressed simply and spent time in low-income areas. His son Adil was a wealthy businessman. The home had polished floors, elegant furniture, and expensive art pieces lining the walls. But none of that truly mattered to the old man. Adil, seated on the couch reading from a sleek tablet, noticed his father entering. "What happened to your shirt?" he asked, concerned. "Another rough day?" Baba Rashid sat down with a sigh. "Adil, I met the most disrespectful woman today." Adil shook his head. "Papa, again. I keep telling you, stop going out like that. Why do you sit on the roadside talking to strangers? You live in luxury now. You don't need any of that." The old man looked at his son, eyes calm. "I will not stop Adil. Not until I find the right woman for you." Adil put his tablet down. "Papa, not this again." "Yes," he said firmly. "You're 36. You need a wife. Not someone to enjoy your success, someone to help build a life with you." Adil sighed, rubbing his forehead. "I have a girlfriend." Ah. His father leaned forward. "You do?" "Yes, I've been seeing someone." "Then why didn't you tell me before?" "I didn't want to rush things," Adil replied. "But since you brought it up, I'll tell you." The old man straightened up. "So, who is she? Where's she from? What does she do?" Adil smiled faintly. "You'll meet her soon. She's very beautiful." But the old man frowned slightly. "Beauty isn't everything, my son." "No, Papa. But there's a problem." "What kind of problem?" Adil hesitated before answering. "She's rude, Papa. Very rude. She looks down on people. She's proud, always trying to impress others, and she spends money like water, expensive bags, clothes, shoes, things she doesn't even need." Baba Rashid sat in silence for a moment. Then why are you still with her? Adil looked away. Maybe because she's beautiful. Maybe because I thought I could change her. She's smart too, and sometimes when she's calm, she's really sweet. But when she's angry, she's someone else. His father asked gently, "Does she respect you?" Adil hesitated. Sometimes. Does she respect herself? This time, Adil had no answer. The old man took a deep breath. Adil, I've seen women my whole life. Can tell from their voice, their walk, their silence. What you need is peace, not noise. A partner who helps you grow, not one who wastes. What you've built. I know, Papa, you're right. Then bring her home, Baba Rashid said. Let me see her, the real her. Don't tell her anything special. Let her come as she is. Adil chuckled. You want to test her? No, his father replied with a faint smile. I want her to reveal herself without even knowing it. As Adil walked away to get a glass of water, Baba Rashid sat quietly, watching his son. He was proud Adil was smart, successful, and kind. But even the wisest hearts could be blinded by love. Bernard lowered his eyes, unable to speak. His father leaned in gently. That girl, Mary, Baba Rashid said. She reminded me of the man I once was. She brought light back into my heart. Today, and more than that, she gave me hope again. Bernard slowly rubbed his chin, unsure what to say. Baba Rashid continued, I'm telling you this not because I need your approval, but because I saw something rare. That girl is golden. She may not have wealth, but she carries character, and that's something even riches can't buy. Bernard finally spoke, his voice hesitant. Papa, I didn't want to say this before, but my girlfriend is coming tomorrow. His father leaned back calmly. And what do you want me to do with that information? Bernard paused. She wants to meet you. That's none of my concern, Baba Rashid replied firmly. 'Cause today, I met a woman who made me forget that people like your girlfriend even exist. A girl who respected me without knowing anything about me. So whether your girlfriend comes or not today, I already met the kind of woman this world needs. Bernard remained silent, his thoughts churning. His father went on. I've been watching you. You're wealthy, yes, but you're alone. You have houses but no joy, friends but no peace. A wife should bring peace. My son, not arrogance, not chaos. I understand, Papa. No, his father said gently, you don't. You say you have a girlfriend, but who is she? Where's she from? What does she believe in? How does she treat others? You tell me she's beautiful, fine, but tell me, can beauty feed the soul? Bernard turned his face away. When I was young, Baba Rashid continued. I chased the prettiest girl in the village. My mother warned me, but I didn't listen. That girl had the face of an angel and the tongue of a lion. She nearly crushed me from the inside. What happened? She left. It turned out to be the best day of my life. It's 'cause after her, I met your mother. She wasn't the prettiest, but her heart was clean. Her hands were strong, and her love built our home. Bernard swallowed hard. So, are you saying Mary is? I'm not saying anything yet, his father replied. But don't bring noise into my house tomorrow and expect me to smile. I've already seen peace today. Bernard nodded. Okay, Papa, she'll come tomorrow, and you can judge for yourself. His father smiled softly. Good, just don't tell her anything special. Let her come as she is. The next morning arrived quietly. Baba Rashid was already bathed and dressed, sitting calmly in the living room. His clothes were simple and clean. He looked at peace, but inside, his thoughts were racing. He could still hear Mary's voice. Papa, I can help you. A faint smile touched his lips. Footsteps approached. Bernard entered the room and stood beside him. Papa, he said, she's on her way. Baba Rashid didn't shift. Let her come. Moments later, the sound of a car echoed in the driveway. The front door creaked open. High heels clacked on the floor, followed by the appearance of Vanessa, full of pride. Designer bags hung from her arms and confidence flashed in her eyes. She glanced around. "Nice place," she said. "Not as modern as mine, but still decent." Then her eyes met Baba Rashid's. She froze. Her confident smile vanished. Bernard began to speak. "Papa, I know who she is." Baba Rashid said coldly. Vanessa's lips trembled. "You? Yes," he replied quietly. "We've met twice." Bernard looked at her, confused. "Why, do you know my father?" I didn't know he was your father," she stammered. "You didn't need to," his father said. "All you needed was basic respect." Bernard's face changed. "What's he talking about?" "Baba," Rashid said, pointing calmly, "is the woman who drenched me in mud and insulted me, not once, twice. On the roadside and again at the supermarket." Bernard turned slowly to Vanessa. She couldn't meet his eyes. "Is this true?" he asked. I didn't know it was him," she said weakly. "You didn't need to know." Bernard's voice rose. "You insulted an old man in public? Twice? I thought he was a beggar," she whispered. "He's a human being," Bernard snapped. "Even if he were a beggar, is that how you treat people?" "I didn't mean it that way," she said, but her voice was fading. Baba Rashid stood. "You didn't mean it, but you did it. You mocked me, humiliated me simply because I looked poor. But now that same man happens to be the father of the man you love." Vanessa's mouth opened, but no words came. "If you had known," he asked, "would you have acted differently?" "Yes," she said softly. "Then you're not truly kind," he said. "Because real kindness isn't selective. It's not for show. It comes from within." Tears welled in Vanessa's eyes. "Please, sir, I'm sorry." "You're not sorry for what you did," he replied. "You're sorry because of who I am." Bernard stood silently, eyes sharp, voice low. "You told me you were brave, that you loved me." "I do," she cried. "No," he said. "You love yourself. Because if you loved me, you would have respected my father." Vanessa dropped her bag. "Bernard, please." He looked at her one last time and turned away. "Papa, I've made a mistake." Vanessa stepped toward Baba Rashid. "Please forgive me." He looked at her quietly. "Forgiveness is easy, but trust, that takes time. You had your chance to show your true self, and you did." "I can change," she said through her tears. "Then start," he replied. "By changing how you treat people who can do nothing for you." She picked up her bag and walked out. The silence returned. Bernard sat beside his father. "Papa, Mary." "Yes. Where is she now?" A soft smile came to Baba Rashid's face. "She's coming to see me tomorrow at the supermarket." The next morning, Bernard left the house quietly. He needed air and time to think. What had happened with Vanessa still echoed in his mind like a scene on repeat. He couldn't believe. The woman he once loved had insulted his father not once, but twice. He drove alone, no driver, no assistant, just silence and thought. He didn't know where he was going, only that he needed to breathe. Eventually, he parked near a quiet patch of land behind a few local stores. He stepped out and sat under a mango tree. The morning sun peeked through the branches and a gentle breeze passed. For the first time in days, he felt calm. Then he saw her. A young woman stood ahead, examining the earth. A bag of seeds in one hand, a small hoe in the other. Her clothes were plain, her hair tied back, no makeup, no designer, labels. But something about her radiated peace. She knelt, touched the soil, then stood again. Bernard watched quietly. After a moment she noticed him and smiled. Good morning," he replied. She walked toward him. "You from around here?" "No, just needed a break." She nodded. "Me too." "Well, not exactly a break. I'm starting a little farm here." Bernard raised an eyebrow. "A farm?" she chuckled. "Yes. Why not?" Most young women wouldn't even touch a hoe, let alone start a farm. She smiled. I'm not most women. I studied agriculture. In school, still looking for a job, but I've got strong arms. Bernard smiled. That's rare. She put her bag down and extended a hand. I'm Mary. He took it gently. Bernard. They both smiled. I'm trying to help someone, she said. It's an old man. No home. He's wise and kind. Reminds me of my father. Bernard's heart stirred. Really? Yes. I met him yesterday. Was being insulted by a woman. I couldn't. Stay silent. I had to say something. Bernard felt a rush of emotions. Afterward, I found out he doesn't beg. He just sits quietly, watching life. I told him I'd help him plant something, give him a reason to feel useful again. Bernard looked at her closely. She didn't brag, she didn't exaggerate, she simply cared. I wish more people thought like you, he said. She laughed. We're out here just hidden. Do you live nearby? Co? I take a long bus ride to get here. It's not easy. But I can't just stay home doing nothing. Bernard nodded slowly. I admire that. She looked at him. What do you do? He hesitated. Business? Ah, business. Nigerian men's favorite word. They both laughed. I won't ask too many questions, she said. You look like a man with a lot on his mind. You're right. Stood. I need to plant these seeds before the sun gets too high. He stood too. Can I help? She raised an eyebrow. You? With those clean shoes and soft hands? I can learn. She smiled. All right. Let's start with okra. And just like that, two strangers from two worlds began something simple but powerful. A farm. And perhaps something more. The house was peaceful now. Papa Thomas had gone to rest, leaving Bernard and Mary alone in the beautiful, quiet living room. Bernard sat beside Mary on the couch, looking at her with a mix of nerves and affection. Took a deep breath. Mary? He began gently. I don't want to waste time. She turned to him, her eyes curious. I know we just met, he continued, but what I feel for you, it's strong, it's real. And it's nothing like I've ever felt before. Mary listened silently, her eyes fixed on his. I love you, Bernard said clearly, from the very first moment I saw you. Mary blinked slowly, surprised but calm. I didn't just admire you, he added. I didn't just enjoy your company, I fell in love with your strength, your calm nature, your confidence, and your kindness. And the fact that my father loves you too well, that just makes it even more special. He leaned in closer, his voice sincere. Mary, I want to marry you as soon as possible. She looked at him, speechless for a moment. Then she spoke softly. I'm not going to lie. I love you too. A small smile appeared on Bernard's face as she continued. From the moment we met at the farm, I felt peace. I didn't even know who you were, but I felt safe with you. Bernard's heart was full. She smiled too. If you truly want to. Marry me, Mary whispered. Then I will say yes. Bernard reached for her hand and held it firmly. Thank you, he said. You are the most beautiful and intelligent woman I've ever known. And now, you're going to be my wife. Mary blushed, but her expression turned serious. There's something I must do first, she said. What is it? Bernard asked. I have to go to the village, she said. I must tell my parents. They live there. They deserve to know. Bernard paused, her words echoing in his head. My parents live in the village. He sat upright, eyes firm. No, he said. That cannot continue. Mary looked confused. What do you mean? My in-laws cannot stay in the village while I live in a mansion. Bernard said firmly, if I have many houses in the city, I'll give them one. Eyes widened. They've suffered enough, he added. I want them to stop farming. I want them to live in peace now. Mary stared at him, shocked, her hands frozen in place. You would do that for them? Bernard nodded. Mary, I'm not just marrying you, I'm marrying your family too. And I'll honor them just like I honor my own father. Tears welled up in Mary's eyes. No one has ever said something like that to me before, she whispered. Bernard gently wiped her tears. You're worth it, he said. From today, your struggles are my struggles. Your happiness is mine too. News of the engagement spread quickly across the city. The quiet billionaire Bernard was getting married. But not to a celebrity or a wealthy heiress. He was marrying a simple, respectful girl named Mary. Some praised his choice. Others were envious. But no one was more furious than Vanessa. She found out at a spa from a gossiping friend. What did you just say? Vanessa asked sharply. It's true, her friend said. Bernard's marrying that village girl. Vanessa's face twisted with rage. Her jaw tightened. Her hands trembled. He can't do this to me, she growled, storming out of the spa and into her car. That night, filled with rage. Vanessa made a phone call to a dangerous man named Sko, known for doing dirty jobs. I need a favor, she said coldly. What is it? Sko replied. I want you to plant hard drugs in Bernard's office. Once they're there, we alert the police. He gets arrested, disgraced, and jailed. The wedding ruined. Sko was silent, and if you can finish the job, Vanessa added, her voice icy. Make sure that girl Mara never wakes up in that old man she calls a father-in-law. I want him gone too. I never want to see his useless face again. She ended the call thinking her wicked plan was now in motion. But what she didn't know was that Sko knew Bernard. Years ago, Bernard had helped Sko's elder sister when no one else would. He gave her a job, paid their dying mother's hospital bills, even helped their family with rent when they were thrown out. That night, Sko sat alone, shaken. This is the man you want me to destroy, he whispered to himself. The man who saved my family? Never. He picked up his phone and called Vanessa again this time, recording the entire conversation. Tell me the plan again, he said. I need the full details. Vanessa laughed wickedly and spilled everything: how to plant the drugs, how to bring down Bernard, how to kill Mary and Papa Thomas. Sko saved the recording. The next morning, he walked into Bernard's office. Sir, I need just 10 minutes, Sko said. Bernard looked up. Do I know you? You helped my family years ago, Sko replied. I've come to return the favor. Bernard nodded slowly. Go ahead. Sko explained everything, then played the voice recording. Bernard sat frozen, heart pounding, as Vanessa's voice filled the room, plotting his downfall and wishing death on the people he loved. When it ended, Bernard leaned back and covered his face. She really wanted to destroy us. Sko nodded. I couldn't let that happen. You don't deserve it. Thank you, Bernard said, shaking his hand. You saved us. That very day, the police moved in. Vanessa was arrested at a luxury restaurant, showing off her new clothes. What's the meaning of this? She screamed. You're under arrest for attempted murder, conspiracy, and drug framing. An officer replied. In court, Vanessa tried to act innocent. Dressed in black, she said softly, I don't know what they're talking about. I never said any of those things. The judge nodded, then signaled an officer. The recording was played. Vanessa's voice echoed through the courtroom, detailing her plans without shame, mocking Papa Thomas and saying clearly, I want her gone forever. When the recording ended, the courtroom fell silent. All eyes turned to Vanessa. Her mouth dropped open. She began to cry. I didn't mean it. I was angry. I was drunk. It was the devil. The judge raised a hand. Nuff. The devil did not make you speak. You planned evil and would have succeeded not for one honest man. Vanessa sobbed. Please, I'm sorry. The judge stared at her coldly. For jealousy, for pride, for wickedness, you shall face the law. Vanessa was sentenced to 15 years in prison. No bail. Back at the mansion, Bernard told Mary everything. She was shocked, but deeply grateful. That could have been the end of us, she whispered. Bernard hugged her. But it's not. Because good people still exist. People like Sko and people like you. That weekend, they traveled to Mary's village. When they arrived, Bernard knelt in front of her parents. "I want to marry your daughter," he said. "And I want you to leave the village. Come live in the city. I have a house waiting for you. You've worked hard enough. It's time to rest." Mary's mother wept. Her father gave his blessing with a joyful heart. 1 month later, Bernard and Mary were married in a beautiful, joyful ceremony. After the wedding, they flew away quietly for their honeymoon, walking hand in hand on a white sand beach, barefoot. Laughing in the sea breeze. "I still can't believe this is real," Mary whispered. Bernard smiled. "It's real. And it's forever." Dear viewers, what lessons did you take from this dramatic story? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this tale, give it a thumbs up, share it with friends, and subscribe for more unforgettable stories. Don't forget to turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Thanks for watching and stay blessed.